What's going on, fellow redliners? Welcome back to another vlog. Welcome back to another video. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys for hitting that play button. We got the double stack of Corvettes up there, as you guys can see. A beautiful day outside, so I decided, why don't we start making some good content? Thank you guys for joining me. Please, I just want to remind you, hit that thumbs up button right now if you can. It really helps Google's algorithm, or YouTube's algorithm, to push out these videos to other people, to discover the channel, which motivates me to continue to make more videos. As you guys know, I'm a small, obviously 8,000 subscribers on the channel, so the more people I get watching my content, the more I can do, the more I want to create content, and obviously it takes a while to edit these videos and create them. So I very much appreciate it if you can just hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you guys are new. So without further ado, let's hop into today's video. It's going to be talking about 5 things that you guys did not know, 5 cool features that you didn't know about the C8 Corvette. It's super feature rich. If you guys have seen my, my other videos with the Corvettes, I've talked about, some of the features, but these are 5 things that really most consumers aren't going to know. So I figured I'd make a video about it, 5 top things that's super cool about the C8 Corvette. Let's get started. All right, so let's go for a cold start on the key here. You just double tap that. Now that's on track mode. As you can see, that exhaust and that exhaust is where the fumes are coming out of. We're going to start with number 5. It has to do with the keys. That's why I have both key fobs here. A lot of you guys will probably notice, or may not notice, that these 2 keys have different colors on them. Now Corvette calls the black one, the one that's completely shaded in, the carbon flash one, which makes sense because it's like the carbon flash emblem here. And they call this one the chrome one, which is kind of, chrome in the middle. Now, the really cool thing is with these guys is that you actually can program them to do different things. So traditionally you would think that if it's more of a regular car, you can give one to your wife. That can be, driver 1 or driver 2, and yourself could be driver 1, or however way you want to differentiate it. With this car, there's a high likelihood that you're going to be the only person driving the C8 Corvette. So what you can do, and how I've set it up, is that one, like this one is my driver 1, for example, and then this one's my driver 2. And one denotes a different type of driving dynamic. So you can program this with the seats and also the way your My Mode works. So you can, if for example, this one, the carbon flash one, is my weekend setup. So it makes the seat come in a little bit closer. It tightens the bolsters a little bit more, because usually on the weekend I'm going for more of a spirited kind of drive. Now, with this guy, if you want a more day-to-day kind of drive, the seats are a little bit, the lumbar support's a little bit further out in terms of wideness. It's not quite as in, and the My Mode is set to more of a touring setup rather than more of a track or sport-focused mode with this guy. So I'll show you, I'm just gonna put, for example, the carbon flash one away. We're just gonna go with this one. Come on in. So it's gonna know that this is driver 1. When I turn on the car, you're gonna see, take a look at the seats. You're gonna see them come in. Look at that, the seat's coming in, and on the screen here, if we can get some zoom, just come in, it says you're driver 1. So because of that, it put everything in driver 1 mode, which is this guy right here. And again, it has a lot to do with your Z mode. You can program your Z mode, in that. You can program your My Mode like that. And it's really neat, really cool feature, something that a lot of people, a lot of owners will likely never discover, so I figured it would make the list. So that's why it's number 5. All right, guys, so moving on to number 4, this has to do with PDR and the PDR system in the car. So I'm just gonna flip the camera around. I figured I'd give you guys a cold start, or warm start, I guess, inside the car. Roars to life. Everything's gonna kind of turn itself on right here. Just give it a sec. By the way, that's what I was talking about earlier. You can see it says, ooh, you are driver 1. So to access PDR, it'll be on your secondary screen, so you swipe over 1. That's your PDR there. This is really cool. So you see how it says right up top there, stop recording, and how I didn't do anything, it just auto started recording. That's an option in the settings that I think will pay dividends going down the road. All you have to do is in here, you insert your memory card right in there, and it'll automatically do recordings for you. I think that's a key feature. It's something you have to turn on when you buy your car, and it's something that will prove to, like, once you have it on, you're protected in case anything ever happens, and it's really, really useful. I love the fact that, you know, Corvette integrated this into the system. Obviously, you had PDR and C7, however, it never auto started. If you wanted to use it as a dash cam, you can, you know, you had to do it manually. In this case, you go right in here into settings, and then you see automatic recording there. You actually have a configure option. You can do it only in valet mode or every time. So mine's on, but then I also configured it. And here you always want to pick 1080p. That's super, super important. And then if you do that, obviously if you have a smaller memory card or any size memory card, you want to make sure that you click this button right in here that says allow recording override. That's super, super important. So here we go. I didn't select it only in valet mode. In every mode, obviously, I think that's really, really important. So I'm just gonna go configure here, and you wanna make sure that that's on. You wanna make sure your quality's at 1080p as opposed to 480p. And then obviously automatic recording is on. So you can see it automatically turned on, and then you can if you ever wanna see your recordings, you have all your list of recordings there. Obviously it's recording now, so you can't click and watch, but if you stop it, you can watch all your recordings. Super, super cool feature, something that a lot of owners are likely not going to be using because they didn't know about it, but this is super, super important in my opinion, and it'll save you in case anything ever happens. If someone, you know, hits you or hit and run, something like that, you'll have it on camera. If someone sways into your lane and they say, you know, it wasn't my fault, you automatically have it here. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to manually do it every single time. It's something that you do once, and it automatically takes care of it going forward. All right, so number 3, we've actually opened the front of the car. As you guys can see, we've also removed the panel. It's really super easy to do. If you guys want to know how to do that and are curious, I can actually make a separate video, but it takes about 5 minutes. So for the purpose of keeping this video short, simple, to the point, I won't illustrate that. But for people who this is going to be something in the long run that you want to know, not something immediate, because these cars are obviously new at the time of creating this video. But underneath this panel, I'll just show where this was. It kind of sits in like that. So to pull it out, you basically unhook this on the other side, and it'll kind of slide right out. No problem. I'm just going to be careful not to damage the paint. Leave it there. Under here, you have your battery. So if you ever need to jump your battery, for example, and the trickle charging access port, which is in this trunk, doesn't do it, or the battery is dead, you're going to have to open this up to gain access to that. The other thing you want to do is this is your cabin air intake in here as well. So if you want to change that filter, you're just going to unhook these buttons. You have access to it. You pull this up, open it, change it. You also have your air conditioning line in there, obviously, and you have your brake fluid right in there. So the brake fluid is actually something you're able to fill without having to remove this, and so is your windshield washer fluid. However, if you want to gain access to the other things that I talked to you guys about, you're going to have to do it. And here is where you'd actually plug in your battery tender over the winter. For guys like me in the northern climates that aren't going to drive this car in the winter, I have the intention to do so stay tuned for that. Just like I did with all my other, like I've driven 4 different C8s throughout 4 different Arctic winters. So this is where you plug it in, and yeah, that's it. And if your battery ever goes flat or dead and you want to jump it, you're gonna have to remove this. So number 3. All right, so moving on to number 2, it has to do with the paddle shifters. A lot of you guys would know that pulling up on both paddles while driving will actually put you in neutral. So you have a neutral button here, yes, but while driving, let's say you just wanna rev it under the tunnel, or you wanna put it in neutral for some reason, I don't know, whatever it be, you can pull both paddles simultaneously and it'll put you in neutral. That's not the feature. The cool thing that most people don't know is that on this dual clutch, you can actually skip shifts. So for example, if you're in 7th gear or 6th gear and you find somewhere where you want to accelerate rapidly, and you know, you can go down to 2nd gear, instead of having to go click, 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 you just long hold on the downshift. So you just long hold like that, and it'll automatically drop you to your lowest gear possible. That is super, super cool. I obviously own a GTR. If you guys have been following the channel for a while, you guys know that. I'm familiar with dual clutches. I've driven PDKs, I've driven McLaren dual clutches. This is a really, really cool and nifty feature that I think most Corvette users, unless they watch the video or read the manual, won't likely know, which means that they're not taking advantage of it. But you know, in essence, I'll get on the street in a second, and I'll try and demonstrate how useful this feature is. You know, instead of having to downshift and, you know, accelerate, if you're, for example, merging onto a highway on-ramp and you want to just get on really quickly and you want to accelerate really, really quickly, pull that down all the way, it'll drop you the lowest gear possible, punch it, and you're off. Really, really cool. All right, guys, so I'm gonna show you guys how this downshift feature works. I'm just gonna turn on this highway here. All right, so I'm just gonna keep upshifting to, okay, so we're in 6th. So let's say I wanna go all the way down. I'm just gonna click and hold this once. You see how it popped into 2nd? I'll show you guys that again. We'll get all the way up. We're in 6th. One more time, hold this. Popped in the 2nd, and I'm ready to go. Really nifty feature, really, really cool. All right, so number 1, I think this is the most vital feature that anyone who wants to work on their Corvette should know, and something that is really not popular. I've looked around on YouTube in the owner's manual. It doesn't really get into it unless you look deep in the owner's manual. But a lot of you guys know you have your hood release back here, and you see that's kind of the standard height. But if you guys look at me, let's say I want to work on this, I'm 6'2", or really anyone has any height at all, will have a lot of trouble getting their head in there, their back is pushed into this, making it really, really hard to work on this engine bay in any way possible. So if you're one that wants to work on your engine bay, you know, whether it be changing the cover, which is a mod coming to this car that I want to do, so stay tuned for that, subscribe. But this actually has a second option. All you have to do is you push up, so just come a little bit closer and I'll show you. So as I'm pushing up, you can see it's gonna go, 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 and then you reach your locking point. Now you can see just how much higher that is. So if you come from this angle here, I'll bend over. Look at that relative height increase and how much deeper down I can get in, so I have access to everything back here. The other cool thing is, obviously we know that this glass is gonna get dirty. So it allows you to get really, really close here to be able to clean it as opposed to stretch. So just to illustrate how high it is now, if we take a look from this angle on the side, look how high that is. That is a really, really sharp angle. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna pull it down all the way. So my hand's reaching all the way up. It closes just like normal. I'm gonna do it one more time to show you the difference. So this is gonna be normal height, so keep that in mind. And look how much further up I can go. That's a significant increase, and the ability to do that is something that most people won't know, and I thought it made the number 1 thing in this video because it's something super useful everyone can use on the day-to-day life, whether you're working on the engine, cleaning the engine bay, cleaning that back window, whatever. It's a super, super important feature. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys found something that you found interesting in this video, learned a few things. If you guys did, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, check out my other C8 videos. I'm pumping out a ton of them, already have a whole bunch on the channel. So I appreciate you guys watching. Take care, share this video with your friends if you can, and I look forward to seeing you guys next video. Take care, bye-bye.